Hello and welcome back to a new series on this channel. This series is going to be all about what goes on in my garden every month. This is the first garden bed we're going to be looking at, and a couple of interesting things happened in this garden bed this month. As you can see, my poor peas, had a little bit too much heat, so they all went powdery and they had to be pulled. My zucchini plant did extremely well this month. We managed to get lots of little zucchinis to have with our dinner. I found that by hand pollinating them gives them just a little bit of a boost, because you can't always rely on the bees to do this. So I just gave them a little bit of a hand pollination to help them get a really good start. And as you can see by the size of this one, it definitely worked out. My capsicums are also another success story, and they were in the same bed. We had heaps of little flowers which eventually turned into nice big juicy capsicums. I also managed to plant a couple of new tomato plants in here just to get another crop going, and here we have some sprouting broccoli. This is the second bed we're going to be looking at, and this one was mainly full of tomatoes, little cherry tomatoes. I had one little carrot left which I pulled out, and we actually didn't end up eating, but yeah, as you can see, my tomato plants did extremely well this month. Lots of trusses of tomatoes, and they were all nice and green, and apparently, according to my partner, because I don't like tomatoes, they tasted delicious. We picked them pretty early once they began to turn red, because we had lots of problems with birds eating them, so better safe than sorry. I also planted in a row of radishes in between these crops just to fill it in while I make some new crops to put in there. My yellow beans were successful in a way. The plants really never grew any bigger than this. I mean, it produced quite a few beans. They were nice when we ate them, but yeah, not quite as successful as I hoped they would be. The beetroot was another crop that I had a lot of success with this month. We had many beetroot, and we made quite a few jars of beetroot to preserve as well out of these, so they were definitely successful. I actually made a video about how I like to preserve my beetroot, so if you want to check that out, I'll put the link in the description box below. My spring onion did fantastically, and some of my radishes unfortunately went to seed. But here we have some more spinach, and as you can see, it went to seed, which is exactly what I wanted, because I had success with my last lot. This is actually some footage from a seed saving guide I made on spinach, so if you want to watch this video also, I will also put that in the description box below. These little gherkin plants I ended up pulling out because they didn't really get too far. I don't think I planted them soon enough, but the other gherkin plants that had established well and gave us heaps of gherkins, I ended up pulling out because they became diseased and they just weren't producing enough fruit to preserve anymore, although I did get one last cheeky gherkin out of them. Besides the radishes that went to seed, I did have a couple that we were able to pull out and eat. inside my garage that I consider kind of like the greenhouse. All of my little seedlings are doing well, including the eggplant, of course all these little spinach plants, another eggplant, and a little carnation at the back there. Here we come. There it is that I've been experimenting with. And then the next day, unfortunately, we had quite a bad storm and it was really windy, and a lot of my supports ended up toppling over or gaining a bit of a lean like this one did here. My poor little tomatoes were the ones who really got it. All their supports fell over and it kind of destroyed most of them. Also the little spring onions I had and my little spinach seedlings. Ah, dear. So this is the after. I ended up having to pull out quite a few of my tomatoes and trim them right down. And we managed to fix the support for the gherkins in the other bed and all the rest of them. And we just put the leftover tomatoes in a little container in hopes that they would ripen. Our little lemon and orange seedlings fared quite well though in the storm. Here they are. They look a little bit dry, but that's because they needed some watering, but they're establishing quite nicely. I transferred a few of them into where the yellow beans were because they also got destroyed in the storm. Our little test cherry tomato trees also started to establish quite nicely, along with 2 swamp plants that I grew from my own seeds. The avocado tree that we grew from a seed also was planted outside and grew extremely well. And luckily a lot of the wildlife in our garden, including this little guy, managed to survive. Out the back of my house I had a few more tomato plants, a few of them which had begun to ripen, so we picked those ones. And finally, the days have been super hot here lately, like 25 degrees plus, so we gave everything a very good water every morning and every night. Something special that happened in the garden this month was my partner managed to make me a little workbench to put outside. Fun fact, we picked up these pieces of wood from Trade Me and the wood in total only cost us $13. This means that now I can store most of my containers, my dirt, my ties, all of that good stuff outside, and do a lot of my repotting outside as well, so that my clothes washer in the garage no longer gets covered in dirt. Once again, I'd like to thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this new concept type of video. I will be making one every month. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time on Growing Green.